Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is HD's Starcraft, and I'm back for another Heart of the Swarm broadcast. And this is going to be from ASUS ROG, and the players we have playing here today are actually really good. This is going to be, of course, MYI Stardust, my Insanity Stardust, the red Protoss player in the bottom left-hand corner of Star Station, which I guess makes it his home planet, if you will, or platform, Stardust on Star Station. And if you guys don't remember Stardust, he is the guy who in one of the dream hacks put a huge roadblock on Jaedong. Second one, played very aggressively against him as well, wasn't able to beat him out, but Stardust, his play style ranks among one of, I think, the most aggressive Protoss that I have seen in quite some time. So it's very fun to watch him play. And I think we're in for a real treat today because he is going to be up against the former champion of DreamHack. That's right, we've got Quantic Hyun as the blue Zerg player in the top right-hand corner of the map. And this is going to be a best of 5. I've decided I'm going to cast every game from this set. And I would only cast a couple, but as I'm told, a couple of them are very good. But I feel like for this one in particular, I don't want to take away from the entire series. I want to kind of build up the storyline. And so I think I'm going to cast the entire set from game 1 all the way up to wherever it ends. And I'm very excited here to bring game 1 to you guys. So make sure to stay tuned, let your friends know. And this, I'm told, is a very good one. So we'll see what happens here with Stardust coming in with the probe. Now, remember, Stardust's aggression kind of banks on his ability to do crazy builds against especially Zerg. That's what I've seen him mostly use his aggro on, although to be fair with you guys, I haven't seen him play Protoss versus Terran before, so you know, I'm obviously a little bit skewed as to my perception of his play style, but it doesn't really matter because he is playing a Zerg here. And personally, I think it's really hard to play against a Protoss who is unexpectedly can go with, you know, a 1 base all-in. They can go up to 2 bases, and they can do all-ins as well. They can do that. He has his signature build where he gets really quick +2/+1 upgrades, and then he rushes you when you think he has 3 bases, and then he still comes at you on the ground, and it's very hard to hold that off, as you guys can see from the you know, the 8 or so, maybe 9 or so games that I've casted with him versus Jaedong. So this, I think, is going to be a fantastic matchup. Obviously, Hyun is as good, maybe if not better than Jaedong, because he did, of course, beat Jaedong in the grand finals of DreamHack. So this is going to be really cool to watch. These two players are obviously, you know, cream of the crop. You know, the icing on the cake is what we're going to get to see here in a very high level of Protoss versus Zerg. Let me go ahead and bring up that board for you guys. I know some players like to see that. So there it is. And we do have a Mothership Core now on the way for Stardust, which, you know, it's totally normal. I actually don't see him from my recollections. I don't see him get Mothership Core too often in early PvZ, but we'll see. It doesn't look like Stardust so far is planning any type of crazy all-in on 2 bases, but that doesn't preclude the possibility of him obviously doing something on that quick third. He'll get the third Nexus, play around for a little bit, and then he'll rush you with 7 gates, 6 or 7 gates, and it's very hard to hold that off. So we'll keep our eyes peeled out for that. It looks like Hyun now is plopping down or pooping down creep tumors into the creep. Yes, nutrition. And it looks like over at the main base, everything is looking all fine and dandy for Hyun. He is now starting to add on extractors onto his Vespene geysers at the natural expansion, looking to get a little bit of gas going right there. And let's see what the in-cub tabs are showing. 37 drones to 33 probes. Nothing too out of the ordinary yet. You guys will note there is +1 weapons on the way here from the Forge. And this is kind of, you know, it's not unusual. Obviously, Protoss will get that +1 going, but what is unusual is how quickly Stardust gets +2 out with +1 armor. And the way he does that is he throws down a very early Twilight Council. And look at this, we have 4 gateways now, 5 gateways on the way right here. That is 5 plus the addition. That is 6 gateways, ladies and gentlemen. No, that is 7 gateways on the field right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's one right here in the main that I didn't look at. So a little bit of tunnel vision on my behalf, but on my part. But 7 gateways on the way right here. It will not be the infamous +2/+1 on 3 bases, but it will be a 2-base all-in with 7 gates and +1 weapons. Now this is going to be very hard for Hyun to hold off. Will he have enough forces on the field? Does he know Stardust playstyle? And a lot of players, I think by now they do, because Stardust has been on the map for the last couple of months, and he has shown that an aggressive Protoss can win games even against the highest level Zerg. So Hyun here needs to get roaches on the field. He does have a roach horn out, and he's starting to pump roaches. Right now he has a layer on the way at the natural expansion. That is going to help his natural, I guess, if it falls under attack. But I think what we're going to see Stardust do is it's going to come over to the 3rd base here, as Stalkers are already making their way across the map. We do have a pylon coming out. Hyun sees a pylon. That's absolutely huge. And it's Zerg that can see that pylon. They can therefore now realize, hey, there's a lot of forces that could be coming at me. I need to get roaches. I need to get spine crawlers. And it looks like he's pumping out Zerglings right now. Will he have enough forces to hold off this type of an assault? Stardust is coming in. +1 weapons just now finishing. And that help is going to help so immensely against the Queens, against the roaches and the Zerglings. The Zealots can now 2-shot them. Time Warp Field coming down as well. And Hyun is in a lot of trouble here. It looks like he has to fall back into the hatchery. He is going to be able to snipe off 1 Stalker, but Mothership Core drops another Time Warp Field. And now these roaches are getting overwhelmed just a little bit as more reinforcements arrive from Stardust, and it looks like Stardust is going to have enough to push the roaches back. But on that production tab, there are 14 more roaches on the way. Mothership Core was taken out by the 2 Queens as the Stalkers now focus that Queens down. More Zealots are coming out, but I think Hyun might have enough to hold this off, as he does have a lot of roaches on the way, ladies and gentlemen, and those roaches are sure to help stave off this attack. And Stardust now, I think, is going to have to slowly pull away. That is too many roaches for him to handle. He's trying to back out right now with the Zealots wailing on the roaches from behind. It looks like those Zealots are doing quite a bit of damage, in fact. And will Stardust be able to warp in additional reinforcements? Surprisingly, Hyun not focusing that pylon down, but then again, he knows there's another pylon over here. More reinforcements now coming in for Stardust. And it looks like this is going to just be on the wire, down to the down the wire. And who is going to be able to take control of this game? Hyun needs to get rid of these pylons. That's the biggest issue here. But every time he goes for them, it looks like Stardust is back there reinforcing. He's got more Stalkers and Zealots coming in. We do have Roach speed and Zergling speed on the way, but will that be enough? Will it be enough time for Hyun to get those upgrades out in order to hold off this attack? I don't think so. Meanwhile, a Zealot has been wailing away at the drones inside the mineral line. We already lost 11 drones for Hyun, and Stardust is going to continue this assault. Now drones are going to be called in to help fight, and this is looking quite bleak for Hyun. Things are getting desperate here. He is going to have to pull back and forfeit that 3rd expansion. Oh my god, Stardust with the incredible assault. No doubt home field advantage helping out just a little bit there, but every little bit does count, and Stardust, I think, is going to be able to take game 1 in this best of 5 versus the former DreamHack champion. Drones now all pulling off the line, and Hyun is getting desperate. Will he have enough to hold off this attack? All he needs to do is push his army away and get rid of those pylons, but a lot of drones are going down here. 34 drones have fallen already, and I think Hyun, I think that's it for him. Even if he holds this off, he has taken way too much damage to have any hope of recovery, and I guess aggro toss is best toss. And Stardust here is going to be able to push forward and no doubt take this first game here. What a play by Stardust. I mean, even if he loses this army, it really doesn't matter. I think he's done the damage he needs to do. And it looks like he is going to actually get overwhelmed just a little bit here. Zerglings, yeah, they are going to be able to take out the Zealots and the Stalkers and the Pylons. But here's the problem. The supply deficit here in terms of harvesters, it's half. Basically, Stardust has double the economy that Hyun has. Now, granted, right now, he doesn't have much of an army because he did basically go for an all-in on 2 bases, so his army is quite bleak. All he has to do right now is hold off this counterattack, and that is why he is making a bunch of sentries. Sentries will allow him to will allow himself some time, and all he has to do is just hold off this this counterattack, and I think he is good to go. I think he's going to be on the gravy train for Victorville / Victoryville. Yeah, right now it does look like Hyun didn't lose the hatchery, which is a nice consolation, but he needs to think right now, do I go for an all-in myself from Hyun's standpoint, or do I try to drone up and catch up? And it looks like he might actually try to drone here and get back into this game. Now, the nice thing is he does have map control, and I think he will be able to take out that Nexus. Very nice job, at least canceling it to buy himself a little bit more time. You know, from Hyun's standpoint here, allowing the Protoss to get a third Nexus is absolutely game over. If Stardust is able to get a third up and running, there's almost no way that Hyun will be able to catch up, especially since right now Hyun is focused on re-droning. So yeah, that's the situation. He's going to try to distract Stardust for as long as possible, but Stardust has a fairly large army of Zealots and Sentries now, and with this type of army, I think it's unlikely that Hyun can get that hatchery down. So very nice job by Stardust here. Upgrades now starting to catch up just a little bit for the Zerg +1 missile on the way, although he's still dealing with a +1/+1 ground army. And look at this, there's an Immortal that's been added in for good measure. Second Immortal also on the way. Great idea from Stardust to deal with these roaches, but he's left his third vulnerable, and the third Nexus now taking a pounding, gonna be forced to be canceled once again. And Stardust is almost, I'm not sure, it looks like he's just gonna go for a second wave here, and I don't know if I agree with this. I think Stardust would have been better suited to holding back and defending this Nexus. It almost feels like Stardust doesn't feel comfortable going into the late game, even when he has that huge advantage. He wants to try to end the game now, and I feel like this might have been a mistake. I think moving out and losing this Nexus might have just cost him dearly. I think Hyun is right back into this game. The Immortal now is going to go down. Oh, force fields to save that guy. Oh my god, Immortal's certainly not claustrophobic right there, getting pushed around. And I don't know what Stardust is thinking, but I really feel like not saving this third Nexus, not staying here and defending, might have just cost him the game. He is going to try to go to finish the game. He's going to try to finish it right now, but I don't know if this is going to work. Yeah, his army is not really heavily upgraded. He's got Immortals certainly, but I don't think that's going to be enough. Hyun is, of course, still continuing to try to buy himself a little bit of time here by running around the backside, but you'll note the supplies here. Hyun is at 159, Stardust is at 123, so this game is actually pretty close, and Hyun now, yeah, he's going to try to get out of there. He doesn't want to get surrounded and then force fielded. If he loses this Roach army, it is all bad, with now almost four Immortals in the mix. That is a lot of heavy-duty firepower. Hyun knows that, so it looks like here Hyun, I mean, he is also thinking about, hey, I've got to destroy this third Nexus, otherwise I'm out of it. But really, in actuality, I think Hyun could probably sit back, play macro Zerg, get a fourth hatchery, and he'd be just fine. But yeah, here he goes. He's going to try to go in for a dual-pronged attack. He's trying to surround this Protoss army. That third Nexus finally trying to come back up once again. I mean, it's been delayed like 6 or 7 times, but you know, who's keeping track now? Mothership Core is going to go to the top left-hand corner to keep a tab on this secondary Roach army, so that's very smart by My Insanity Stardust, just to see where that army is indeed going. Fourth hatchery is on the way, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but Hyun is actually in this game, if not ahead. I mean, how did he pull this off? I think that it might have been more Stardust's mistake to push out and not defend his new Nexus when he had a huge advantage. He pushed out and then he lost his third, so that was a terrible blow for him. And I think that's the reason why Hyun is right back in this game, honestly. But here comes Hyun once again. He's going to go around the backside with these Roaches, going to try to take out this Nexus, and the Roaches are going to try to surround from the right-hand side as well. And this is going to put Stardust in a weird position, as that Roach army can attack the natural expansion, but no, it looks like now he's going to try to go for a double surround into the main army, but force fields are going to keep that Roach army at bay. And uh-oh, Stardust has force fielded himself out of defending his own base. Not a good spot at all. He does have an Immortal back here. Will it be enough to slay these Roaches? It is getting targeted down by a few of these Roaches. It looks like finally it is going to drop. And meanwhile, the Roach army on this side is going down. Another skirmish going on at the third Nexus with Photon Overcharge trying to keep it alive. More reinforcements coming back here for Stardust, trying to save his probe line. He is starting to lose quite a few probes. There are Roaches that were able to funnel themselves into the main base. Only Photon Overcharge to defend that Nexus, and things are getting crazy right now. I think Stardust might be in a little bit of trouble. I think Hyun's got this. He's done quite a bit of damage to the Protoss, and you can see 17 probes have gone down. The main Nexus has fallen. Finally, Stardust is going to be able to clear up these Roaches, but he is taking a huge amount of damage. losing that Nexus, losing, you know, the probes that he lost, although thankfully for him, he was able to kill off a sizable portion of the Roach army, so you can see both players have dropped quite drastically in supply here. But nevertheless, what a battle, what a game between these two players. And here comes Stardust once again, going to be floating into the main. Hallucinations for the win. Zealot coming over to this hatchery, trying to take it down. And do note we do have a Dark Shrine on the way from that Protoss side, so I think Stardust right now might be feeling a little bit of pressure. Might be thinking, wow, I might be losing this game against Hyun. I need to get DTs out, because, you know, when you're behind Dark Shrine. And I think he is gonna indeed go for Dark Templar here. It just kind of goes to show, I guess, Stardust's I don't want to say inexperienced playing late game Protoss versus Zerg, but just his habit is to play aggressive, win the game in the first 15 to 20 minutes at the latest, and if he goes beyond that point, then I guess I have to say you might be a little inexperienced. You might be, you know, playing these not weird strategies, but, you know, highly volatile strategies that either, you know, you get the win or you don't, build order wise, or maybe just hoping your opponent makes a mistake. And you know, I think that Stardust is out of his element right now, just a little bit. 105 supply to 199. I think he had the edge for the first 10 minutes of this game. Certainly he was ahead, but he made a mistake, and now Hyun has capitalized. And Hyun is right back in this game. I mean, he's winning this game right now. And oh no, we have a massive Overlord fleet coming in here. That is a ton of Overlords. They are upgraded with drop. Couple of Roaches going around the left-hand side here. And will Hyun go for a drop? It doesn't look like it. I think he's just going to try to surround this Protoss army. Protoss army using the Nexus, using the force fields, using the pylons and cannons to try to keep their army alive. But the force fields are wearing down, and that Protoss army is surrounded. GG, I think, for Stardust. And the first game of this set is going to go to Quantic. Hyun, what a game. So sick. DTs, Zealots, everything making their way over to the right-hand side, but that doesn't really matter, because Hyun has got this game in the bag, and uh-oh, now he's going to ferry his troops into the main, where the DTs cannot hit them. Although these DTs are doing a fair amount of damage. I mean, it's not enough, I don't think, to turn the tides here for Stardust. And that Colossus is dancing because it knows it's going to die. GG, GG. All right, so the first game going to Quantic Hyun there in a beautiful showcase of Starcraft. First game, so we're gonna go right on to game 2. Hope you guys enjoyed, and this is HD. I am signing out.